Hey, welcome back. This is Heather Hope with Conscious Creating with Heather Hope. Happy Monday, guys. Okay, so I wanted to start off this week with a talk about mindset work. Okay, actually, let's begin with I'm a manifestation coach. I need a new intro. I actually really do need to just sit down and write an intro because, yeah. I have been a mindset manifestation coach for many years now. And yeah, you can reach me at my email in the description box if you want to get coaching. I do have 4-week coaching packages, so it's not super long term. It's basically month to month. You can sign up for a month. You can continue for as long as you want. And we meet weekly on the phone and on Voxer between phone calls. So I like to get as much involvement as I can with my clients, so I can really help them succeed. So, because you really hear the limiting beliefs over time when you talk to someone, right? They usually come out pretty quickly, but over time you get to hear more and more. It's like unpeeling that onion. So it's very helpful because I've done a video or two on when affirmations go wrong. If you just give somebody affirmations to do, sometimes those belief systems really can make those affirmations go not quite the way you would want them to go. So, because affirmations or your thoughts, all of that stuff are very, very powerful. But if you have limiting beliefs of, like, say you wanted to create $1,000 a day, but your belief system is like you have to work hard for money, that, you could be thrown with a whole lot of extra work that, I've heard lots of stories like that where, people are thrown with a lot of work that they really didn't really want or can cause burnout. So it's really important to get all the sides of your story to be able to help you better. Anyhow, and I also do email coaching as well. So you can find all that information down below. Okay, so let's get started. Since it's Monday morning, I wanted to talk about mindset work. This is the most important thing in my life. It is. Like, there's nothing else comes before my mindset, because if I don't have my mindset straight, I don't feel quite right. Actually, I have an example yesterday. I was out doing some work and I was kind of on edge. Actually, I had an appointment earlier and the appointment was 3 times longer than it should have been. And it was very kind of emotionally exhausting. Just trying to figure out what was going on, trying to, sitting down with a couple with some papers. And it was just like more complicated than I ever anticipated. But overall, I think it worked out. But, it kind of depleted my energy and it threw me off because it threw me off my schedule yesterday. Of how I had my day scheduled. And then, so I come home at the time I was supposed to start my next project, which was going to take all day. And it was going to take me out of the house all day. And I was just like exhausted. I was tired. And I was just really, that feeling of just being thrown off, of like kind of thrown off kilter. And it kind of stayed with me for a while. Like, I even forgot to pick up my husband at work. It was a few minutes late. It's just like, I was just like, oh, and I couldn't shake it. Those moments where you just can't shake it. You're like, gosh, darn it. It's annoying. So I felt like that for probably about 3 hours yesterday. And it just was weird. So I came back into my office and I took out my notebook, and this is my notebook. I should actually take a picture of it and show you, but it is this beautiful notebook I got a few months ago, and on the front, it says, "Create the life you love." And I use this notebook throughout the day from morning to bedtime. And what I do This is kind of like my magical notebook. And every so often I affirm that everything I write in this notebook comes true. From law of assumption, I'm assuming that everything I write in this notebook comes true. So, because it's all the stuff I'm creating. And since I'm the creator of my reality, then that's how it works. So mindset work, like, what does that look like? I've been doing this for years, mindset work. And if you've ever worked with me, you know that's everything, because, it's setting up your day for success, setting up your mind, because your mind is everything, and how you think about everything is everything, right? Like it's the most important thing you do is think. And, setting up your mind in the right place, and then throughout the day, keeping it in the right place is key. So what I do, and I do a variation of things in my notebook, but, usually first thing in the morning, I will come into my office and I have my notebook, and I will just kind of like flip through some pages of affirmations I've written, and I will like recite them, usually out loud. And after a few, I start, generating this energy, this powerful energy that I feel really good. And so it kind of reminds me of who I am, all the things that I've written about, who I am, the affirmations that I have, and all the areas of my life. I just have a huge list of affirmations that I kind of go through. For a few weeks, I went through them pretty religiously, just down the line, just to feel really good and cover everything. And then, sometimes I will write some new affirmations that come to mind, or, something that struck my mind. I will write it down maybe a few times. Maybe I'll write like kind of a scenario that I thought about, kind of scripting-ish type of thing. And I'll do that. I spend some time in this notebook. Like, I have a lot of time in my day, so I do spend a lot of time on my mindset. So in the morning, I probably do this for at least a half hour, and just until I'm like really solid in my mind, really solid with feeling amazing before I conquer anything else. And so then I move on, and, throughout the day, I will affirm things. Like, I keep track of where my mind goes. Like, if I'm doing the dishes, I'm thinking about something. Like, if I get stuck in the 3D with some sort of, and this is basically why you feel like kind of out of kilter, is because you're focusing, or I'm just going to say myself, I'm focusing on the 3D. And when you focus on the 3D, like if circumstances like that appointment was kind of wonky, it was kind of confusing, it was kind of draining, see, just thinking about it now, I'm remembering back to how it felt. So, last night before I went to bed, I did play a new overnight Subliminal thing. And it's a really great one. I think I'm going to use this more often. It's from Brian Scott. And he starts with, relaxing, and then he goes into having you revise your day to the way that you really wanted it to go. And I did that, and it was pretty cool. So the key of revision, which we'll talk about more in another video, but the key to revising situations is to stick with that story. So for me to sit here and say that my appointment yesterday was kind of all over the place, I revised it last night. So the key is to stick with the new story, right? So you have to stick with the new story. So throughout the day, I am remembering how I want things to go, and I will stick to the story of how I want things to continue to go. And if things haven't been looking like that lately, then I have to switch out of, focusing on the 3D and focus on the 4D, my imagination, and focus on where I'm headed. Because the key is every moment is a brand new moment. And what you focus on right this moment is the most important thing you're focusing on. So what are you focusing on? It's literally the most important thing. Your thoughts in this moment is the only important thing. So where are they being directed? Are they being directed to things you do not want that are in your 3D, or fear of what you think might be coming? Because if you do that, you're creating it. So you have to pay attention that the direction of your thoughts are going in the direction where you actually want to be. That's key. So I do that throughout the day. So that is part of my mindset work of making sure my mind, my thoughts, my words, my actions, everything is in alignment with where I want my life to go, the direction, like the big vision, right? So I do that. And then throughout the day, if I'm home, occasionally I'll bring my notebook with me if I'm out for a while. But like yesterday when I was out for a while, I had some idle time, a bunch of idle time in my car. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had my notebook, because I would just start writing instead of sitting here in my 3D, kind of, not doing much and being alone with my thoughts and like, in the 3D world. And so, I'll revert back to my notebook throughout the day. I'll probably be in my notebook at least 3 times a day. Usually. So it's in the morning, sometime in the afternoon. And then a lot of times I'll bring it to bed before I go to bed. I'll go to bed earlier, and I'll sit in my bed and I'll write some stuff or affirm, or usually I do write. I'll write about something that I am currently manifesting, and to let it, continue to come to me, and, new things or progressions. Like when my manifestations are progressing, I will, continue with the story, but, it's always living from the end, pretty much always living from the end of what I'm manifesting. So, and that's the important thing about affirmations throughout the day. I always, I step back into the end result of my manifestation of what it is that I'm manifesting, and then affirm from that state, whatever it is. So like, I love whatever it is that I have, say it's an SP. I love our relationship. I love how, we communicate so well. I love how he does so many amazing things for me. I love, whatever it is, just make up all the things that you want to see happen as if they already are happening in this moment, because whatever you're saying in this moment is true to your mind, your reality. And if you continue in, moving forward, and, if you stop taking the past into account, you will have so much faster movement. And that's something that I work on throughout the day, is reminding myself, where am I headed? Where am I headed? Keep in that direction of where I'm headed, and if there's something in the 3D currently that is kind of bothering you or giving you any sort of, doubts, you have to tell yourself, no, everything's great. Everything's great. Everything's perfect. It all works out perfectly. Whoever is just busy right now, they'll get right back to me as soon as they can. So, sorry, I got another message. It's just perfect timing. As soon as I say certain things, a lot of times things come in those moments. A lot of times you just keep working it. It's just funny. The message I just got is really comical. And okay, so there's another, I'll add this in here. I am thoroughly enjoying this. And this is the message I just got from somebody. They're watching a reading on their sign. Well, that's what I've been doing. So everybody is you pushed out, right? So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. I got away from tarot readings for a while, and psychics and all that fun stuff, right? And kind of trying to get away from horoscopes. But I find that all to be enjoyable. And so what I've done is realize that tarot readings, like on YouTube, they've been popping up and they have been giving me the most amazing, amazing readings. Like, and so this is the thing about tarot readings or psychic readings, right? And when they pop up, especially if it's just, a general reading, whatever it is on YouTube, they will parrot back what your current assumptions are, just like everything. Like you're attracting that, you're created that. And so my assumptions, like all of these readings, like I watch several a day because I'm getting so much more movement forward by watching these. So for me, this has been becoming such an uplifting thing to do. And I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, no. And I was against tarot readings too. Nothing crazy. It's just, you create your own reality. But the thing is, when they start parroting back your assumptions that you have in your mind that of your life that you're creating, it's confirmation. And when you have confirmation like that it's exactly like, I've got this one person that I follow. She posts like every day on YouTube, and her readings are so insanely accurate to my life that I am running with it like enthusiastically, because it's just like, it's absolute confirmation that everything is just right here. Does that make sense? Like, it's so crazy how I did a 180 on tarot readings just because I realized, well, this is just my assumptions coming through. And she's telling me everything is like everything that I'm working on, manifesting, creating in my life, let's say creating in my life. She's telling me verbatim, basically. And it's the most exciting stuff. And it just keeps me so like high flying. So, let me be the first one to say, go ahead and watch tarot readings if you like that stuff, because it has been so good in my life lately. It has been giving me so much life, so much energy, so much enthusiasm, so much hope, not hope, but like a knowing, an absolute deep down knowing that it's done. Everything that I have been creating is done, and it's right here any second now, popping into my reality. And she talks about 3D and all that stuff. So she's the perfect person. So the text message I just got was somebody messaging me their reading. And I'm like, that's never happened with this person before. So I just find it, everyone as you pushed out, it's really fun. Anyway, let me know what you do for mindset work. I actually am so curious about this video that this person has sent me because we're going to see, it's all going to line up. It's all so perfect. So anyhow, let me know in the comment section what you do for mindset work, what questions you have for me. If you want to work with me, email me at heatherhopecoaching@gmail.com. I'd love to help you create the absolute dream life. You can have anything you want, anything, anyone, anything, whatever you want. And I will be here 100% to support you on any dream that you have. You absolutely can have. You can have anything you want. Okay, guys, I love you so much. And I will be back on Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.